Hey guys, welcome back to another special episode with our awesome guest Pablo. Don't worry, this isn't take two. how are you, dude? And how does it feel to be the first Pro Tour winner?
As I haven't already said,
Yeah.
I'm still kind of overwhelmed by all of that's happening right now. All the people reaching out to me, and it still doesn't feel like I'm the champion of the Pro Tour. Like it still feels like it's somebody else, and I'm just kind of living off it.
Yeah. Is it like an imposter syndrome when you're like, yeah. Well, you are, and it's absolutely awesome. We were saying on our first take that about your family. Did you realize? And you were saying that your dad and your sister was like they're not quite up to scratch with what your card game tricks.
Yeah, they had a rough idea of what I was doing, but as I have already played a lot of card games, they didn't really understand nor the importance nor anything. They just believe it was he's winning in another little tournament. That's great. Let's congratulate him. And then I told him, yeah, I have won like this much money, and my father said, no, that's not possible. They are scamming you. Clearly, you can't win that game, that much money with a card game.
Wow. And does what was it? Is he kind of just like when you've obviously shown him and everything? Is he just like proud? I'm sure they are.
Oh yeah, of course.
So you're
even when they don't understand anything at all, I just show them the videos. They were looking at the finals, and they didn't really understand anything. So they were just going with the numbers, with the life totals.
Oh,
so
but that was exciting, though.
Yeah, they thought that it was the only thing that mattered.
Yeah.
Oh well, they were kind of right.
I mean, if you look at it on that, it was like, even when I checked back at the Fabled Academies video, and I was watching your stuff live, I didn't even clock like the health totals were that low. But obviously, when we were watching it live, you know that Chane has got a big, huge move, so that one health it looks worse than what it really is. But even when you did look at it like that, you're like, oh god, this is tight. So yeah, man. Right. So you were saying that you've done other card games before. A bit of background, man. Pablo, what is your give us a bit of history about yourself?
Well, I'm from Madrid in Spain, a little town in the outskirts. And I have been playing card games since I was really, really little, really young. And I started playing I had a really brief affair with Magic the Gathering, but I was really young and I didn't have the kind of money to get into that.
Right.
As I grew up a little, I don't know, I had like 13 years or something like that. I started playing the L5R CCG, the old one.
Right. Yeah. That's old school, man. When they actually had the story was and the cards were actually like in sync, and it was some wild stuff going on. Yeah, that's sick.
That was great. That's where I fell in love with card games and their community. Like everyone was so welcoming. That it felt great, and yeah, I had some success in that game too. So it kind of pumped me up. To play another games. And I was playing that game until it died. Then I started playing the L5R LCG that Fantasy Flight Games released like 4 or 5 years ago.
Yeah. I remember that. What was your clan? What clan were you?
Oh, I have always played the Crab clan.
You're Crab. You're the Crab clan. All right. Okay. I was a Scorpion boy. So.
Oh. Then I believe we will have to cut this interview.
I did actually. I was a bit of a I liked the dragons as well. Dragon Clan was cool, and then when the Scorpion Clan was pretty good, I had to roll with that at events. But yeah, no, Crab Clan, man, that's really cool.
I played that game until it was discontinued, something like a year and a half ago, and that's how I started playing Flesh and Blood. We had one friend from L5R that was really, really into Flesh and Blood, Widion.
Mm.
He was also the first Spanish player to reach 1,000 points.
Oh, cool.
And yeah, we were talking during the hard lockdown
Yeah.
with the COVID here in Spain, and we were looking at all the cards on internet and recordings of games. And as soon as we could get out of home, we went to a Sealed Arcane Rising event, I believe it was,
Yeah. Yeah.
and we completely fell in love. My play group, I have a team. We're called the Sunflower Samurais, and
Yeah.
we are, well, that's our name from L5R that we also
Oh,
use
got you.
for,
Yeah.
for
Yeah.
this
Yeah.
one. And we all started playing seriously on Monarch
All
with
right.
the Monarch release.
So, who was your what was the hero that sort of captured you to because I think everyone has that hero, right? That they go, that's the one I want to get into when I start playing this. And was it Chane?
No,
Oh,
I have always been Bravo Showstopper main.
right. Okay.
I really, really enjoy playing him. I really love his playstyle.
Yeah.
But sadly, with Monarch also came Prism.
Mm-hmm.
So one of my best friends and the guy who has traveled with me to every little bit of Spain to play tournaments is a Prism main.
Oh, right.
I was so tired of losing against him.
Yeah.
You know, that matchup feels so horrible. Like, it wasn't as bad until they released the zero cost auras,
All right. Yeah.
and then it turned just impossible for Showstopper.
Yeah.
Or and yeah, I still enjoyed playing him, but I started to try every hero in the game to just see what they could play
Mm-hmm.
in the future.
So, during the ProQuest season, what who were you playing, and how did you get the So, how did you get the qualifications for the Pro Tour? Did you win one of the ProQuests?
I won 2 ProQuests
Oh,
here
awesome,
in Spain. I won the first one with Bravo Showstopper.
awesome.
Oh.
Was your friend off? Did
Oh,
he?
I won against one Prism. I
Oh,
still don't know how I did it.
well, you did it.
I believe I drew gas into that game, and I was able to push so much damage
Yeah,
that I just won. But yeah, it was definitely a strange thing.
yeah.
But yeah, I have deck prepared to beat Starbow.
All right,
I faced a lot of
I
Starbows,
bet.
so it really paid off.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was running like 20 defense reactions or something like that.
Right. Okay.
It
Yeah.
was a really gross deck.
Right. And then the second ProQuest, were you running Bravo again, or did you just swap it up?
Uh, Actually, a lot of people started playing Prism with
Right.
the 24 or 27 hours
Mm-hmm.
list. So I tearfully had to store away my Bravo deck, and
Wise.
I pulled out my other Bravo deck. So
All right. So you
I
played
won the second
Starbow.
one with Starbow.
Oh, that's fair, man. That's fair. So you won with. So you were really the star of the show for Madrid in those two ProQuests.
Yeah, that was great.
So you've got your first two. Well, you got your ProQuest invite. Oh, you got your Pro Tour invite by winning a ProQuest, and you saw that the Pro Tour came up, and you were like, "I'm going." Right.
Oh yeah, I had some money because of the gold foils,
Oh,
and
sweet.
I thought, hey, I believe this is the best way to
Yeah.
spend it.
Yeah.
Like, all of this has come from Flesh and Blood, so I could better spend it in Flesh and Blood.
Very wise.
So
Very wise.
I
And
had a lot of friends that were going to do the same,
yeah.
so it was an easy choice.
No, that makes total sense. I mean, that sounds quite exciting. That you've got the what you've won, you've invested it back in, and you're going to go with friends. It just makes I bet that sounds really exciting, actually. And when you knew you were going, how was your preparations? With the Sunflower Samurais, was it basically all of you going, and it was it just grinding to find the
Oh,
best way to play?
We were grinding a lot, but
Yeah.
we were still not decide on a deck.
Right.
We knew what the meta could be, and uh, it was like we thought. Well, with the kind of surprise, you know.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
but yeah, it was mainly Starbows playing casino.
Yeah.
A lot of room blades. This time it was Chane because of the how it was called, the Bloodseed Skeleton
Mm.
ban.
Yeah. I know. I know.
And some prisms. So yeah, we started grinding a lot of games, but we couldn't decide on a deck.
Mm.
And then we talked with some friends we have on a Discord from the L5R days. These are American players.
All right.
They brought us this chain deck.
Right.
It was all the chain decks are really similar because you have to run all of these blue depth cards and a really high blue count. So,
Mm.
but yeah, it was much better than the chain decks we were trying at the time.
Okay. What was the small differences?
Yeah, I believe we were trying these high makers
Right.
on our deck, like Rebel in Runeblood or things
Yeah.
like that.
Yeah. Yeah.
That you know this card is amazing. You look at Rebel Runeblood and it's easy to play. It's
Mhm.
fairly easy to play
Mhm.
in Chain. Its effect is incredible, but do you really need this into your deck? And,
Yeah. Yeah.
and
Yeah.
then you start looking at the deck and how it works and how these small changes can make it so much more consistent and so much better. So we started playing with this list. It wasn't a complete list at all. It was just I don't know, like the husk of the skeleton of the deck.
I like what you did there, the husk. I like that. But so I noticed actually when you was Time of Findale one of those new cards that you were like, was that a new edition that was sent over to you that you were toying around with, or was that something you were always sort of playing around with?
We were really surprised because they were trying the yellow belittles,
Yeah, I noticed them.
and man, they were awesome. Like
Mm,
they are incredibly good because they bring so much consistency to your game plan.
yeah,
If you have a really high red hand, you can just search for a blue Minnowism. If
absolutely.
you don't have any non-attack actions, you can search for a red Minnowism.
Hmm.
So it offers you so many options. You can pitch them because it's also a two pitch that a yellow pitch that isn't so bad.
No, no,
So
absolutely. So the yellow minute, I see that was the things that I noticed when I was seeing it because I was it's the yellow minnowisms and the Tome of Findales were the kind of little standout things that I noticed from watching your games playing at the Pro Tour. I didn't manage to catch really much else chain players on stream live. I don't know whether they were. I knew that red minimalism. That's not like that wasn't nothing new. But the yellow ones were like, oh, okay, that's pretty cool. Did you see? Was there many other people running what you were kind of running at the Pro Tour at the time?
don't think so.
No.
Like there were there was definitely a high number of team players
Yeah,
playing
absolutely.
almost like this also I don't know how the right word for this is in English, but this happened at the same time that Tariq Patel put his
Oh,
main list out, and I believe that um made a lot of people play what he was playing.
what would
And
knick-knack bric-a-brac?
oh, I definitely saw some knick-knack bric-a-bracs during the tournament. Not against me, obviously,
No.
but I saw some of them in the tables.
Yeah.
Yeah, I believe people changed their decks,
Yeah.
and maybe someone who already was going to play Tom of Fiendals took them out or something like that. But
Sure.
yeah, there were some people playing them, but definitely not everyone. And I believe it is one of the power plays of the deck.
Mm, I
It
completely
is
agree.
incredibly good for saving the Carrion Husk when your opponent thinks they have outsmarted you and they have dealt with the Carrion because now you're low life and you have to spend it on a really non important attack or something like that. And
Yeah.
then you heal for life and And yeah, sometimes it just wins you the game on the spot, and you can use it to filter your hand for better pitches
Mm.
or that. So yeah, that card is great, and the combo with the spellbound creepers where you can use them 3 times in a row.
Yeah.
It's pretty amazing. You can use it during your turn with the Rosetta. You know that you're going to do at least one point of arcane damage to keep them to your opponent's turn. Then you activate them on your opponent's turn uh, when you defend with an attack, and then you have them on your turn another time, and you took
No,
you
no,
take
yeah.
them all up to 3, and then yeah, they can die.
Yeah,
They have done
and,
enough,
and then
enough work.
now you can block with them. Yeah. So, what was your first? So you did all that train. You did all that training. You got that. You got your. When did you sort of say I'm playing this chain deck? Was it like a couple of while you were there or before you went? What was when was it when you decided I'm locking in?
I decided to play Chain fairly early.
Yeah.
Um, because I really don't like Prism. Maybe because
No.
all the damage it has done to me over
Yeah.
over,
You got a
over this
personal
time,
vendetta against Prism.
and I'm not comfortable at all playing Casino Stable. The progress that I won was on this control list
Yeah.
with much more defense reactions and 3 block cards,
Mm.
and I wasn't feeling really comfortable with the casino version, and I thought, yeah, the chain works great for me. It was great in our testing,
Mm.
and yeah, I'm really bad at math, so I had to practice a ton to
Yeah.
get some reps for the fatigue game plan. But you have to be counting when are you going to draw these cards, pitch stacking, and then preparing to draw
It's,
for blues.
it's a lot of work.
So it was pretty hard,
You did
yeah,
it. Yeah, you got there. So what about the
I got there
list? What
by
about
playing a lot of games,
yeah,
a
yeah.
lot of
I
games.
can imagine. What about the list? The list that you got, was that when did you say this is I'm locking this in, I'm sending like was it just I'm sure it was just like must have been at the last minute. You're like, oh, this card.
Yeah, we actually decided the last small tweaks on the list on New Jersey. We traveled there a week earlier.
Right.
We were sightseeing around because I have been 2 times in the United States, but both times were in Minnesota during winter, and that's
Right. That sounds cold.
that's not really good for a Mediterranean guy to be around outside. So yeah, I had like this feeling that I didn't really see anything of the United States, and I really wanted to do some sightseeing. I was really New York, like
Yeah.
I had to try. So yeah, we were sightseeing a lot and walking a lot. It was really tiring. And
Yeah.
when we get home, we usually played a ton of games. We were sleeping really. We weren't sleeping what we should be sleeping. I
Right,
can say that.
you're up into the early hours slamming games
Yeah.
and until yeah, and then right at that last minute you got your deck list sorted out. So you got that done. You head into the Pro Tour. What was your first impressions of the event?
Well, I was blown away
Mm.
by the banquet. It was incredible.
Yeah.
Like I didn't expect nor the quality nor the people or all the food, all the beverage that were there. It was incredible. Yeah, I was really surprised. I have been these 2 times I went to Minnesota. I went to the L5R Worlds tournament,
All right. Yeah.
and this was on a totally different scale. Uh,
Yeah.
it was much better, much. I don't know how to say it. It was a different beast altogether, and yeah, when entering the hall and seeing all these famous players, courting creators, and yeah, it makes you feel like this country bumpkin. This
Yeah.
small guy from
I know what you
from
mean.
outside.
It's from what I've seen as well. It just looked like an absolutely overwhelming, and just looked it did from how I saw it. It just looked absolutely awesome. Were you there doing the James White speech? You know, how was that? Was that kind of enlightening to see the James White?
I believe it's much easier to hear what James White was saying in recordings than it was live because
Right.
the speakers on the venue weren't working that well.
Oh,
So
right.
yeah, it was amazing, but I didn't, you know, between that and I'm not an English speaker. And
Yeah.
sometimes I have problems understanding some things. Yeah, I had some trouble understanding everything, but yeah, people were really pumped up.
Awesome, man. So you've done all that. You head home. Nerves kicking in, I can imagine, for day
Well,
one.
not at all. I'm not the kind of person to get really nervous with these things,
That's
but
just that's cool, man. I need some of that before you go to an event. So you rock up your first two games. Well, I heard the record. It was a bit of a rocky start. A bit of a no. What was so an 0-2 to start off the event? How you
yeah,
feeling at that point?
I was completely destroyed by an Starbo on my first game. Like
Right.
I went to the into the tournament so confident that my deck was really good into Starbo.
Mm.
So, you know, he's going to be the deck to beat during the tournament. So you need to know that you have a good matchup into him, or at least an even matchup.
Yeah.
And it was just a beating. I
Ah.
couldn't do anything.
No, is it one of them where it was just back to
Yeah,
back? Yeah.
yeah, I couldn't do anything at all in that game. And yeah, I was really frustrated because you know, Flash and Blood tiebreakers really punish players who loses the first rounds of a tournament.
Mm.
So well, yeah, it was not a good
No,
moment.
no, no.
Well, don't worry, I just have to I don't know if it is called like that in other countries, but I just have to do the submarine, you know,
The
and play
submarine. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Just
against
yeah,
the other players,
yeah.
the have lost, and just find a way through, you know.
Awesome.
And I was kind of tilted, but still confident that I could do anything.
Yeah.
And then I lost my second game too, so I was
Oh.
really tilted.
No. What was who you might not if you remember the name cool, but who was that? Is it another Starvo?
I don't
Chain?
know. It was a chain mirror, and
Right.
he played really well. We were playing really similar decks, and he played really well. And I just lost the game, and I won't blame into lag or I believe it was a
Mm.
good game. It
Yeah.
was really close, and yeah, that's all. But I was
Chain
really
mirrors can do that, can't they? You're like,
yeah.
I can play as good as I can, and you can play really well. We're both playing really well, but sometimes it's just how the cards fall, how the cards draw, and it's just is what it is. One of those. Yeah, chain mirrors can feel like that. So 0-2, you're really submarining now. You're gonna have to dig yourself up, and we've got 12 rounds left to play. So
I was really lucky that it was around that time when a lot of my friends came into the venue,
yeah,
and they were all cheering me up, like, "Hey, you can still do it. You can." I obviously I didn't think I had any chance. I was just trying to get into day two, maybe get top 64 or something like that.
yeah, yeah. You start seeing where's the bar now. Yeah. So yeah, round three you winning. Round four winning. Round five you're winning. Round is it where we are? That's it. Round five. So now 5-2 ending the day. How are you feeling at that point?
Round seven, I was 5-2, yeah,
Yeah.
and yeah, I was feeling more motivated.
Mm-hmm.
I won't lie. Like even if I was kind of tilted, this is just a game at the end of the day. It didn't went when I said tilted. I don't mean it like I was angry or something like that. It was just
Yeah, it's
you
frustrating.
know frustrating, but it didn't really. It doesn't really affect how you play, or you will. you need to try that it doesn't affect how you're playing.
Yeah,
So I had a lot of good games there, really good games, and some of them were really close too.
I can imagine.
And yeah, it was. I kind of regained my confidence for the second day.
Yeah,
Well, I still couldn't. I still didn't believe that I could make the top 8 or something like that.
sure.
Like my goal heading into the tournament was to hopefully get top 32 and get the PTI. That was what I think I could get with some luck.
Mm.
So yeah, I was still not. It was still. It wasn't impossible still for me. So
Yeah.
so
Oh,
I just went home and well, we had a great dinner with some friends that day, and then
awesome.
we headed straight up for the second day of the Pro Tour.
Did you get an early night, or were you a bit, or was it a bit of a hard sleep?
Oh, I was really tired, so
Ah,
I couldn't sleep well. It wasn't much time because uh, we got to get up early and we were dining with some friends, but
yeah.
it was a good night of sleep.
Oh, good, good. So, coming into day 2 now, and how you starting off at round 8. This is the one thing I think you need to tell me where you what happened at this point. So from round 8 onwards, what was your how was that going until we reached into this top 8, which we know you made.
Just one round. I don't know if it was like on the 9th or the 10th one, so something like that.
Yeah,
And yeah, I was just playing every game. I knew that I was sure that if I lost one single game, I couldn't get into top 8
right.
due to the breakers. So, and I knew for sure that I was going to lose some games that
Yeah.
day. So I was just really relaxed playing. I had a great time.
Hmm.
Everyone was really, really kind, and I had some good games. Then I had my second loss against another Chane player,
Right.
and that was that was something really funny because the guy who I played most games with, Daniel Correas,
Yeah.
that was also staying in my same Airbnb.
Yeah.
Was also playing Chane. He was also playing the same exact list that I was playing,
Right.
and we had played like 50 or 60 chain mirrors
Right.
during our time in New Jersey.
Yeah.
So I was really confident into my chain mirror, and
Right.
then I lost two of them. So
It's
I
just-
believe I shouldn't be so confident.
it's all the practice in the world, and then sometimes when those moments happen when you feel like you've never practiced harder against a single hero, but for some reason in that moment it just didn't land, and you know what I mean. It's a how are you? What round was this? Was it in the Pro Tour? Was this roughly like round 10, 11?
Like that.
Yeah, yeah. How are you feeling at that point? Just like that thing of looking at Chane, going, "Come on, man."
I thought that I couldn't get into the top 8,
Yeah.
uh, but hey, it was a pretty darn good result anyway. So I was feeling happy with how I was doing,
Mm.
and I just kept playing. And then some friends came to me and told me that no, that the X3 were going to make the cut, at least the majority of them. And I
Mm.
was like, oh, this,
Oh.
this got more serious. And yeah, I remember that I was 2 wins away from making the top 8, and I
Oh.
was really, really hoping to get the match against some prisms because I
Yeah.
didn't play against any of them, and my deck was really good against them.
Yeah.
I really had to take my revenge for all those times
Yeah.
playing Showstopper.
Uh,
And I was talking with my friends there, and it was like, I'm going I'm going to face some prisms. This will be easier, and yeah, I believe that I will have some luck next. And then they pulled the next round, and I saw that I was playing against Matt Rogers. So
right. Uh-oh.
I thought, well, maybe this is not working as I thought.
Okay, so you're facing off against the Matt Rogers. You know, is it? How was it? Kind of. How are you feeling at that point?
Well, you know, I won't say it's intimidating, but you because everyone that's doing so well into the tournament has to be a good player,
Yeah, absolutely.
and I don't believe that these famous names are so much better than the other players. But
Hmm.
yeah, it was pretty good meeting someone so famous in the community
Yeah.
and has done so many great things. So yeah, that was great. I also got incredibly lucky against him. Like
Right.
I said that I needed some prisms and to get lucky, just to get a nice little relief and
Yeah.
get into the top 8. I didn't get prisms, but I got really lucky into the game. Like
Right.
really, really lucky into my second turn. I played something like 2 Red Bull Eatles with an Art of War. Like I
Wow.
had like a 30 damage second round, something like that. And
Jeez. Right. Okay. So yeah. So you just showed up and just went right. Okay. It it's happening now, and it just absolutely took him down a peg. So you win that game. You beat Matt Rogers. One more game.
yeah,
How you how you feeling at this point?
well, as I have said, I'm not really the type of person that gets really nervous
Oh
during.
man, this you're steel, man. I would have been like,
Yeah,
oh, one
and
more.
I played all of the tournament thinking that I didn't have any chance.
Yeah,
So if I lost there, hey, I would have done a really good tournament either way, and I was really happy with myself. And if I won, that's better even.
absolutely. I think
So
that's really cool. I think it's this for yourself. For a lot of people, it's that hope. It's you can see the finish. You can see that now, and isn't that like even going? Oh, wow, it's in touching distance. It just got one more game to win. And a lot of people can be really, you can find that very overwhelming. That pressure to just go,
yeah,
it's on you now, and it's just there, and that feeling of trying to get over the line to do that. And it's for you. It was just, right, I'm just going to play. I'm just going to take this game as is. I'm not going to think too much about what this game means. It's just going to be another game of flesh and blood. See
I
what I
believe
can
that
do.
that's the best way to confront these situations.
Yeah.
And yeah, it was a nice game. I also got a pretty good game during my last Swiss game.
Who
So
was it? If you remember the name again, who was it against?
Rothermel, I believe his surname was Rothermel,
Yeah.
and he was also playing Casino Starbo.
Oh wow. All
Uh,
right.
but
Starbows.
I played against a ton of
I
Starbos during the
bet.
tournament, and yeah, I also had some really really big turn.
Yeah.
It wasn't the second round, uh, as it was against Matt Rogers,
Fair enough.
but I had like several littles into an Art of War.
Oh wow.
Well, while playing this deck, it's usually a good move to arsenal your Art of War or your Belittles
Yeah.
until you hit the other piece.
Yeah.
So they
Yeah.
really do this incredibly high damage turn,
Yeah.
and yeah, it happened in both games. So it was perfect. It worked perfectly for me. I still wasn't sure that I had made top 8 because there was one person that would be cut off from the top 8, and I knew that I had some really bad tiebreakers from my first 2 games.
Yeah.
But hey, I was lucky enough to get in as the 7th player,
Oh, there you go.
and yeah, it was incredible. Like my friends and I were just celebrating down the hall, and
I was just gonna say, like that must have been just, elating. Just
yeah,
to have it. Oh my god, you did it, and your name. Did they call your name out? Did
yeah.
they?
When they
Oh,
were calling the names, I, I don't get really nervous during the games, but when they were calling each player name and they were going like in order, the first player, the first
yeah.
seeding of the tournament, the second one, and they were on the sixth one, and they
Oh.
still haven't named me. I was like, this is not going to happen.
And then your name come up as 7th place.
Yeah,
Oh.
and it was amazing. I was with a lot of friends there, and we all started cheering, and yeah, it was amazing.
Oh, mate. So at this point, now you're 7th. You're in the top 8. You're heading back. What's going through your mind then? What's going on? Are you just like, oh my god?
Well, we were also going to get dinner with some other friends that night,
Yeah.
and they wanted to get out and get some drinks, and I was like, no, for the first time in my life, I want to do that, and
Well,
I
yeah,
need to go
yeah.
home and rest.
That's very sensible
Don't
of
do
you.
don't do this to me this time. And then
That's incredibly sensible of you. Did you? So when you thought that, did you go right? I'm gonna give myself the best opportunity to try and win this whole thing now. 3 more
uh,
games.
I failed, and I ended up drinking more beer than I should have.
Oh my
But
god. Man of my heart, man, you're a hero.
and so I didn't practice at all that night.
Ah, that's probably
Like
it's probably a good thing for some people, right? Just to just go, you know what? The nerves can go.
I knew I was against the first prism of the tournament.
All right.
I knew that my deck was really good into her. And yeah, I also knew there were two Kanos on the top 8, and they were really, really bad matchups for me as I
Yeah.
was running any new rune equipment, any arcane barrier equipment or spell void. I wasn't running Ebon Fold nor the Vexing Quill Hands.
I'm gonna want to say this. How so? Because while all of this is going along, this Kano like massacre was happening around you. How were you feeling? Thinking,
Yeah.
Christ, I did not see this Kano guy with me. How were you feeling knowing 2 you know in this top 8?
Uh, I knew that if I happened to play against one of them, I would need to get incredibly lucky to win the game
Mm,
because I hadn't prepared at all for Kano. It was a meta call, an incredibly good meta call from these guys, and I was really afraid of going into them. Well, afraid is not the right word. I knew I was going to lose if I, if I
yeah,
went against them.
it was probably out of every hero that was the worst one.
Yeah, and yeah, so on one side of my bracket, there was
You couldn't escape him.
a Starbo Kano matchup, and Starbo was only running one arcane barrier.
Yeah,
So I thought, yeah, I will have a good matchup against Prism,
yeah,
and then if I win, uh, you can never really dismiss, even if you have a good matchup against something, you
yeah.
can
You could
really never be sure,
just remember the
especially
60
when you're
reps you had
playing,
with Chane.
especially when you're playing against these really high level players.
Hmm.
You can never be sure about your odds, and yeah, but I was thinking if I beat this Prism, I should be playing against Kano. I believe Kano is going to win that game, and I will just be demolished. It will be on a stream too,
Yeah.
and
But
and
yeah,
hopefully that will be the end of my run. But hey, top 4 of the tournament, it's amazing.
yeah.
And after my top 8 game where I beat Prism, I saw how Starbuck completely annihilated that poor Kano
I
player.
know.
Like he got fused 3 times in a row,
Um,
and with the most powerful attacks, he completely blew him off. And even with all of that, it was a really close game.
mm,
So I was playing against Starbuck, and I was feeling pretty confident against it. I
yeah,
was like, hey, I can win another round. Maybe I can get into the finals, and that would be amazing.
yeah.
And but it's impossible to win in finals because the other Kano will come and destroy me. But the
Absolutely.
other Kano also lost to
Oh.
a Briar, and yeah, that's how it went. I had two really close games in semifinals and finals against
Hmm.
Starbo. I'm really proud of how I played those games.
Yeah,
They were really close. I believe they were amazing to see from home with the amazing stream we had there.
yeah.
And yeah, that's all. And
You've
you know, you're still playing these games like you're in semifinals or in the final. And I wasn't thinking about if I win this, I will be like the champion of the Pro Tour. No. You have to focus onto the game you're playing right now.
yeah,
You know, thinking about money or prices or something like that. It's kind of dangerous
yeah.
in those positions.
It's so yeah, I mean, I'm crikey. So you you seen the doom, and then the way tournaments work. Like when you even watch the football or anything, you know you can just keep put in a bracket that's pretty rough, and you can some people get put in a bracket that's pretty cool, and just the way how things work, you just see this team. You think, how are they? You know what I mean? If
Yeah.
they play these, this isn't good, but they're out. Whoa, okay, this Kano's out. There's my out. Awesome. Starvo. Cool. Managed to get through that. Like you said, other Kano. Probably going to be the end on that one, but no. Oh my god, okay. And then like you said, you got to the finals, super close, and you dealt that final blow, and you are the Pro Tour winner. At that moment, what was that like?
As I have said,
Yeah,
it's
right.
pretty difficult even to digest it now. So I was just overwhelmed at the point. I went to you know get with my friends. We were
yeah.
celebrating really hard, shouting and jumping,
Oh, it's
and everything that happened afterwards. Like I had to do some interviews. I had to get on a stage to do.
What do you mean you had to get
I
on
wasn't.
stage?
I wasn't really thinking during all of that process. I just I was going with the flow,
Yeah.
and
Here's your thing. Here's your
I was
check.
just overwhelmed there. If you see some photos or something like that, I was really happy. Obviously, I was
Yeah,
incredibly
absolutely.
happy and really lucky to be in that position. But it wasn't.
Yeah. So did you manage to catch a word with James White at the end? Did
Oh
he
yeah.
sort of just did he what did any nice words?
Oh, he was incredibly kind.
Yeah.
He told me that I was making history. Like all of these things when they told this to you, you're like, well, we will see.
Yeah.
I'm not so sure,
Yeah.
but yeah, it was amazing. I could talk to him quite a bit, and yeah, he was a great guy. Everyone at that LCS staff was incredibly kind. And I was feeling so nervous, so my English level dropped off a bit. so so they were really understanding too, and yeah, it was amazing. Like all the people in the booth that were streaming the game, all the people that were doing the live commentary, all the judges, everyone was incredibly kind, and yeah, it was amazing.
Awesome.
Like, it was
Awesome.
amazing.
And then you got that Pro Tour chain card. And
Oh
you
yeah,
probably most likely at this point the only one in the world now, because it's looking like he's going to get Living Legend by the end of this ProQuest season.
yeah, he will hit Living Legend for sure.
Yeah, absolutely. And then I will say this. I mean, I was you. So when I'm sure you got paid, people came up and said, "I'll buy that off you." Straight
I
away.
actually already sell it. It didn't came with me to Spain.
No,
It
I
was
know. I
sold
saw straight away
on
it
the
was
spot.
sold. Absolutely, man. And there you go. You've just come back with Pro Tour France and Worlds money, and probably some nice stuff for you. It's even me thinking about this just seems just surreal. Like, you know what I mean? Just
It
pretty
seems
much.
surreal. Like
Yeah.
I'm unemployed. I'm not working right now. I'm studying for an exam to get a national job here in
Right.
Spain.
Yeah.
Job working for the government. So
Well, your rent's paid
my
for a bit now.
yeah, my bank account jumped like, well,
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
really really high.
yeah, yeah. And
I
the
never had
Spanish
even.
Spanish police shows up. What's happened? You robbed a bank.
It was amazing. Yeah, like it has been a great change. But
Mm,
this is also another part that I still have to come in terms with. I don't want to. I will use this money to get to go to other events, but
absolutely.
you know, I won't do anything strange with this.
Oh no, it's your money.
I
Do what
will
you
pay
want. Yeah,
rent. I
yeah,
will try to survive until I get my job, and
yeah. Absolutely, man.
I will move to different tournaments.
Awesome. So, have you been to any ProQuest events ready for Pro Tour in France? Are you?
Oh yeah, yeah. I had um, train tickets already bought when I traveled to New Jersey to go to Barcelona
Yeah.
here in Spain too to play two ProQuests this weekend. So if I hadn't bought the tickets beforehand, I was so tired that I wouldn't have go there.
Right.
Uh, but as I already had it, and Sergio Sanz, that it's my friend that has traveled all around Spain with me playing tournaments, was already going, and I didn't want to, leave him alone.
Hmm.
I ended up going there, and I also won the first ProQuest. So
This guy's
I
just.
already.
What did you take? Did you take your chainless? You're like, oh, whatever.
I
I'll take
didn't
this
have
one.
any time, so I just dropped off my well, I don't know how it's called in English. My bags at home.
Yeah.
I picked up some clean clothes, and I just went straight up to Barcelona with the same deck and everything. I didn't change anything.
Don't need to change a Pro Tour winning deck.
So yeah, I had a really nice tournament. I won every game,
Nice.
and that was pretty good. And I already had because I was debating if I should spend the PTI to go to Lille, if I should store it for Worlds, because I'm really hyped to see what they will do in Worlds if
Hmm.
Pro Tour has been this huge. And yeah, I don't
Well,
have
there you
this
go. Don't need
that
to think about
problem.
that. It's
I
sorted.
don't have that problem anymore. And yeah, on the second day, my friend who was playing Ryer got kind of mad at his deck, so I just lent him my chain deck, and for the second Pro Tour, I just got cards from players around there and played the Bravo Showstopper deck.
Yeah.
It was amazing. I lost my first 4 rounds. I
You
that was
watch your ELO go.
that was a harsh reminder of why I am not
Oh.
playing that hero anymore.
Did all the prisons come out to play?
Yeah, I
Yeah.
played against a ton of prisms. I only played against one of them when I was playing on the Pro Tour, but then you switch to it's a meme now in
Yeah.
in our team. But then I switch off to Bravo, and I had one game against Chane and 2 games against Prism in a row, and it was like.
Oh my goodness. So all that uprising's coming out. I'll leave this as the last question. Are you hype for uprising? And it's in Madrid.
Oh,
How
yeah,
cool! How lucky is that? That's
we
awesome.
are incredibly hyped for both the premiere event and the mm, Blitz calling team trios.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
It's amazing. Like on our community, the Spanish community is really strong, and it's been growing so much lately. And I expect it to really have this huge explosion in players when the localized versions drop off with the black this
Oh, that'll be
historic
cool. Yeah,
the Black
that'd
Mouse.
be
I
really
believe
cool.
we will have a ton of new players, and I believe many of them will be trying the game at the premiere.
Nice.
So I expect it to be a really, really huge tournament. I'm really excited for the new set. I really enjoy both the theme and the classes that are included in it, and the fact that the heroes look exactly like the characters from Avatar, the last Airbender.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. Yeah. So you're
I'm a
going to
really
be.
big fan of the series. So
Yeah. 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 So is there a hero that you're going to pick up, or you're going to try all three? Are you one to try one, or are you one that's going to go get them all?
I really want the ninja to be good.
Yeah.
I'm pretty hyped for Faye, and I expect him. Well, not expect. I hope that he's good. I would really much love playing with him. And I have this story with history with the illusionist class, so I already hate the main
Right.
character.
Even the cool dragons? Do they not even tempt you? No. 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 No.
Well,
No.
I
No.
already hate her. Maybe she will came out and I will just still fall in love with her playstyle or something like that. But
But yeah.
for now, she's an enemy.
Yeah.
And and yeah,
Yeah.
I love control. I believe Lysander could be a good deck, but I'm not really sure it will work. Like I need to see more previews, but yeah, I could really enjoy that gameplay too.
Yeah, so she's an interesting hero, kind of a wizard control. Can it work? I think if it does work, I think she could be like very pinnacle into shaping up how the meta is going to look.
Yeah,
Because if her and old him can't handle this really hyper aggressive meta with Katsu and Briar and Bolton and all those really red fast
yeah,
decks, and I can imagine without knowing, but you can see Fi is going to be one of them, right? It's going to be a
yeah.
really aggressive one.
He's probably going to be one of them. Yeah,
Yeah, if they can't seem to make their life miserable or difficult in a very consistent way, I feel like it's just going to probably end up being quite another fast meta paced game. But if they do their job, I think this is when things are going to get really, really like, wow, okay, what OG Bravo could really come back in. Brute could probably start weighing in a little bit more. It's quite exciting.
it's a really exciting meta because we know for sure that both Starboy and Chane are going to
And
leave
that,
us,
and that.
and these new heroes are coming in, and I expect them to be really good. You know,
Mm.
we have had a broken hero in each set, so
Yeah, yeah,
maybe we will also have it in
yeah.
in this one.
But you're right.
And
You're right.
yeah, I'm really really excited for this meta to see how it shapes and
Absolutely,
what we
man.
play.
It would have been exciting just to see Chane and Stavo just them going. Is just like, well, what do we do now? Where does it go with just them two not even in it? But now they're gone and three more. I know I could literally pinch your ear for a long time, Pablo. But I think at this point I'm gonna leave this here. Thank you so much for your time, your journey through the Pro Tour. Again, absolutely awesome. Congratulations, first Pro Tour winner in history. So, dude, thank you so much for jumping on.
Thank you very much for inviting me, and you know, it's been amazing for me. To meet, for me too. It's been a really nice interview.
Oh, awesome! That means a lot. Thank you so much, dude. Anyway, peace out.